What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Christian Corey, and today we have a lot of stuff to cover in the baseball world because Shohei Ohtani, he claps back at one of his harshest critics. The Dodgers hire a brand new GM, and Correa and his camp has made a move that could change the trajectory of his free agent destination. Now, before we get into all that, guys, I'm going to need you to do a couple of things for me, please. First, go down below, leave a like on the video. If you enjoy, go over, smash that red button, go subscribe. Next, go over, ring that bell. That is the best way for you guys to know when I'm uploading great baseball content here on the channel. And finally, I would love to hear your thoughts about everything I'm going to cover here today in the comment section. Now that that's out of the way, let's get on into it. Alright, so let's start off with topic number one, and of course that involves the Shohei Ohtani fiasco. Now, do you guys remember, back last summer, just before the All-Star game, a very popular sports anchor for ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, he made a couple of shocking statements regarding baseball's two-way superstar Shohei Ohtani. And frankly, it pissed off a lot of people, especially in the Asian community. Well, if you don't remember, no worries, because today I'll be recapping that story, replaying you Stephen A's comments, and providing you with what Shohei Ohtani had to say in response just a couple of days ago. So first, let me show you some of the harsh and insensitive comments that Stephen A. Smith had to say about Shohei Ohtani last July, just before the All-Star break, in addition to the statement that ESPN baseball reporter Jeff Passan had to say in defense of Shohei Ohtani. Let's roll it.
Is this good for Major League Baseball that Ohtani's the top attraction?
Not to me. The fact that you got a foreign player that doesn't speak English, that needs an interpreter, believe it or not, I think contributes to harming the game to some degree when that's your box office appeal. It needs to be somebody like Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, those guys. And unfortunately, at this moment in time, that's not the case. But when you talk about an audience gravitating to the tube or to the ballpark to actually watch you, I don't think it helps that the number one face is a dude that needs an interpreter so you can understand what the hell he's saying.
If your point is he's got to learn English, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, but the point is this, Max. If this was Bryce Harper, what would we be doing? We might be talking about baseball 5 days a week.
That's true. To be fair, we've now talked about Ohtani this season a handful of times.
Which we've talked about him twice.
Home run.
Let me be the first to stand up and say that I want to express my sincere apologies to the Asian community and the Asian American community. And the reality of the situation is that you have Asians and Asian Americans out there that obviously were very, very offended by what I had to say yesterday. And I just want to look into the camera and extend my sincere apologies. That was not my intent at all. I was wrong, period. It was me. I said it. And the reality is that I was completely clueless. I also want to extend personal apology to Ohtani himself.
I feel like I have to tell a story here about Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani came to this country at 23 years old. He left behind his family, he left behind his culture, he left behind his country. And he is the sort of person who this show and who this network and who this country should embrace. We are not the ones who should be trafficking in ignorance. And you know what he's done? He has reached that greatness. And he's done so without speaking English publicly. We talked about yesterday, on this show, address Shohei Ohtani only twice. Why? Look at what he's doing. That's what we should be asking ourselves. It's not that Shohei Ohtani doesn't speak English publicly and that people don't embrace him. It's that if people don't embrace him because he doesn't speak English publicly, they're the problem.
By the way, we addressed Shohei Ohtani, I think you said twice. I thought it was more than that.
Nope.
Although, to be fair, we've now talked about Ohtani this season a handful of times.
We've talked about him twice.
We don't watch them for the words they say. We watch them for the things they do.
So as you can see, there's no denying what Stephen A. said was uncalled for, it was untrue, and frankly, what Passan had to say in response was spot on. I commend Passan for kind of, stepping up to the plate, for Shohei Ohtani in that situation. But the one thing that was missing from all this at the time, even after Smith apologized to Ohtani the next day on First Take, was a response or comment from Ohtani himself regarding those insensitive comments made by Stephen A. And it really got a lot of people thinking, including myself at least, was what Smith said, really offensive to Ohtani? Because we don't really know Ohtani's thoughts on the whole situation. Well, finally, months later, we kind of have an idea of how Shohei Ohtani truly feels regarding those harsh comments made by Stephen A. of ESPN. Because Ohtani expressed those feelings during an interview for GQ Sports Magazine, and this is what Ohtani had to say. Ohtani says, quote, "Of course I would want to. Obviously, it wouldn't hurt to be able to speak English. There would only be positive things to come from that. But I came here to play baseball at the end of the day, and I felt like my play on the field could be my way of communicating with the people, with the fans." That's all I really took from that in the end. Now, I think, Ohtani's response is perfectly fine. I think it's justifiable. I think he's spot on because, again, he kind of piggybacked off of what Jeff Passan's response was at the time to Smith on First Take the very next day. And that is, Ohtani understands what his job is here and how he affects the game. And the way he affects the game, I'm paraphrasing what Passan said, he doesn't affect us by the words he says, but by the things he does on the baseball field. And that is 100% true. It just is. Ohtani was a victim of unfortunate circumstance brought upon by Stephen A. Smith, so I'm glad that Ohtani finally got to speak his mind regarding those insensitive comments made by Stephen A. Smith. Alright, now the second topic in today's video involves the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, it was reported yesterday that the Dodgers have hired a brand new general manager. In fact, the organization promoted one of their own to the GM spot, that being Brandon Gomes. Now, here's an article from MLB.com that explains the news. The first paragraph says, quote, "Brandon Gomes continues his rapid rise in the front office ranks as the Dodgers promoted the former big league pitcher to the role of general manager as part of a realignment within their baseball operations department. Now, he is the 12th GM since the team moved to Los Angeles." Now, before I go any further in the article, I do want to mention that, during his playing days, Gomes split time between 3 different major league organizations. Those organizations being the Padres, Rays, and Cubs in that order. Now, although Gomes did make it to the show 5 separate times in 2011, 12, 13, 14, and 15, all with Tampa Bay, Gomes was never able to spend one full season in the show. Now, his major league career numbers ended up like this. Gomes posted a 11-12 record, a 4.20 ERA in 167 innings pitched with a career 144 strikeouts. So after his playing days were over, he immediately joined the Dodger organization as a Dodgers director of player development, replacing the current Giants manager, Gabe Kapler, at the time. Then after his 2 seasons as Director of Player Development, Gomes was then promoted to Vice President and Assistant General Manager in March 2019. During that time, Gomes has become an integral part of the Dodgers front office. He is one of the fastest risers in this industry since his retirement back in 2016, so there's no denying he knows his stuff. And obviously, a lot of other organizations think very highly of him as well, because earlier this offseason, the Mets reportedly interviewed Gomes for their general manager job. And he was expected to continue to receive future job opportunities outside the Dodger organization. However, Gomes decided to stay with LA to become the first Dodger GM to work under President of Baseball Operations Andrew Friedman since Farhan Zaidi left the organization to run the Giants following the 2018 season. And here's what current President of Baseball Ops Andrew Friedman had to say about the new Dodger hire. He says, quote, "I'm thrilled to announce the promotion of Brandon to General Manager, as he has been an integral part of our success since joining the Dodgers in 2016. It also says, quote, I look forward to our continued partnership as we strive for another world championship. So this hire, shouldn't scare people. In my opinion, I think the hire was just fine. The Dodgers, they know the guy, they trust him, and it even sounded like he had a fair shot at the Mets GM opening. So that tells me that other high-end organizations around the league saw something special in Gomes themselves that made them think that he could truly run their organization successfully and bring them a World Series championship. And also, just to be real, you have to be some type of terrible to really, really screw up that Dodger organization. But, with that said, I have confidence in what the Dodgers are doing, and if you're a Dodger fan out there, you should too, because this hire seems pretty good to me. And finally, for topic number 3 here in today's video, it has been reported that Carlos Correa has changed agencies. Yes, he has hired the agency in which the infamous Scott Boras runs. Passan tweets out this quote, "Free agent shortstop Carlos Correa has hired Scott Boras as his agent." Correa tells ESPN in a statement that, quote, "I have made the decision to hire Boras Corporation to represent me moving forward. Boras Corporation offers the highest level of baseball expertise and proven experience." Passan said he followed up with Correa and asked Correa why he chose to change representation during the lockout. He says, quote, "He preferred not to answer any questions and referred to his statement." So, it's going to get him more money. People are saying, oh, it's good for the Yankees. The Yankees have a good, relationship with Boras or whatever. Trust me, Boras don't give a damn, that the Yankees are interested in Carlos Correa. And if any Yankee fan thinks that, the fact that he has Boras, Boras is going to give a little, shove, wink, wink to the Yankees that, maybe I'll give you a discount on Correa or something like that. No, that's not going to happen. If at all, Boras is going to go harder on a team like the Yankees because he knows what kind of money they got and what kind of money they got to spend. So, do I think it will really change where he's going to go or his potential landing spots? Not really. I think his asking price might go up a little bit, but I do think when it comes to actual teams interested, nothing's going to change. It's going to be the Astros, it's going to be Yankees, it's going to be the Tigers, the Dodgers, and the Phillies. High-end and high-market teams are still going to be in play for Carlos Correa, the teams that we all expected coming into this offseason. So that's all I got for today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts of all the topics I covered here today. Tell your friends about these videos and my channel. I would appreciate it. And as always, I'll catch you guys later.